Hey y'all, it's Ashley
and Shantavia, and this is Obedience Podcast. So we are back again with another fellowship episode. This is number 3 of our fellowship series. There we go. And we decided to bring a male perspective for our third one finally. And so we have 3 guys who agreed to come on the podcast and share their perspective on different topics. So first, I want to say thank you guys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I guess.
Kick him out.
Already? It is too soon.
See, these guys don't want to act right already.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and get into this fellowship time. All right, so before we get started, we're going to let each one of the guys introduce themselves to you all. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I am Carlos Stutts, also known as the Lean Legend, also known as Nurse Extraordinaire, coming to a pediatric hospital near you.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm Brandon Nettles. I'm a Prince Hall Mason. Also, I'm a violinist, poet, and musician. So,
did you get all of it?
Not all.
Get everything?
Nah.
Oh, it's my
all
turn
right.
now. Oh,
Yes.
This is your favorite light skin.
Okay, favorite light skin.
My name is Taylor. I'm your favorite light skin, aka your favorite accountant, aka your favorite local blogger.
Did you get it all in too?
Oh yeah, and if you want to, you follow my Facebook account. It's at Live From The People. You can also follow me on Instagram at Live From The People and on Twitter at Live From The People. There you go. I'm pretty reckless sometimes too, so.
Sometimes.
I'm getting better though. I'm not as petty as I used to be, despite what Ashley and Shantavia and everybody else would think. They could have had me on the petty podcast. I'm reformed.
All right.
I ain't say nothing, but okay. Moving on.
Right. So be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Obedience Podcast. Be sure to like our Facebook page, and if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. All of our information should be on the screen right now for you guys.
So we want to start off with an icebreaker, as we always do. So the first question: if you were to create a slogan for your life, what would your slogan be?
I guess I'll go first. My slogan would be always bet on yourself. And with that, I mean, that comes with confidence. That comes with not so much, I guess, searching for outside help, depending on yourself. And so with that, you gain strength. And at the end of the day, you can only trust yourself. I trust myself more than I would trust anybody else right now, besides God, you know. So.
I hope so.
Yeah, of
You
course.
can't trust yourself. I don't know who you can trust.
Ooh-cha. That's the bad place to be in.
Can I get amen?
Amen. Carlos?
If I had to pick a slogan for myself, it would be never to take things so seriously. Kind of just like live carefree, but not, careless. It's a difference.
That's good.
All right, Taylor.
Oh, that's easy. Mine is, it is what it is. Take it or leave it.
Well, okay, I don't get no simpler than that.
Okay.
Point blank, what?
And that's on that. The reason that's my slogan is because I've always been one of those people is either you're going to like me or you don't like me. And I don't sugarcoat things. If we're going to be cool, I have to be able to tell you, I have to be able to feel like I can tell you what you need to hear, what you need to hear, and not what you want to hear all the time. Yeah. That's pretty much why. I pretty much live my life like that.
I think that's a good way to live life by. Okay, mine is a little simple. I actually stole mine from somebody. If you guys don't know, Gabrielle Union, she wrote a book, and in her book, one of the quotes that she says is, "Be afraid, but do it anyway." And so that would actually be, so that would actually be my slogan. I mean, because in life, there's a lot of fearful things that you go through, but just do it anyway if it's what you want to do. That's what I tell myself a lot. Do it anyway.
That's good.
I like that.
I would have to say, I was like, when I saw this question, I was in between two, and I'll go ahead and give two. But the first one is what you need is on the inside of you. Just to know that we are equipped already, but what we need in life, and it's all in what we do, like what we pull out of our life and what we grow. Like we all have I like to think we all have seeds on the inside of us, and it's up to us to either grow or to let those seeds go to waste. And my second one is keep moving your feet. And what I mean by that is it was kind of like with you, Shay. Even though we may have fear, like different things come in our life, just keep on moving your feet. I don't like to think of it as like, just because things happen doesn't mean that you have to stop, but just continue to move your feet. So yeah, keep going.
You already know I like yours, based off what I said in our preparation series. I don't like people who just like to talk about their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about.
You gotta make those dreams come true.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap.
Very.
Real cheap.
All right. So now that we got the icebreakers out the way, everybody all comfortable?
Yeah.
Y'all ready to get into the hard questions?
Woo! Let's get into it.
Oh, let's do it.
All right. So the first one is, what's one thing that you wanted from a past significant other that you never received?
Man, you coming out
money.
Ooh.
Not money.
Somebody close.
That does not count.
Somebody get Carlos.
I'm just kidding, people.
Everybody don't speak at once. Me and Ashley going last, so.
I would say, in my experience, I think I've had a lack of growth in my partner, which kind of, it puts a stall on my progress of being a better person, but also it's a situation where you don't want to feel like you're dragging a person along to be with you. And I know that's been hard for me because I've had to learn that everyone is not built like you or have the same mindset that you do. And you just have to be patient with that. I know that is been a very hard struggle for me, especially because I'm stubborn at times. So I guess in a relationship, them having that ability to have more understanding, being able to see outside of themselves and get out of that complacency, I would say for me.
That was deep.
Yeah, I like that. I think mine would have to be support and drive. And what I mean by that is to have somebody that's literally there trying to push you like, hey, you can do this, instead of being complacent with you. And like you're saying, when two people are stubborn, then it's like you're going to just butt heads, but you're never going to be working towards that progress with each other. So how can you support each other when you're totally at odds? And for the drive, it's pretty much goes along. I think the two go hand in hand with support, in the fact that you should push that person. Like you said, you should be able to grow together as a couple, because at the end of the day, that if you can't have each other other than God, then who's there? Because you're going to be in the house with that person. You want to push them. You should want to see them be the best them that they can be. And you should want them to want the same for you. Because nobody just goes out seeking anybody that has no drive, no ambition, and don't want anything. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I don't want that. But if I don't trust the process, I could be guilty of it too. I'm not, high and mighty in sport. I'm not going to support it if I don't see the process. If I don't believe in it, it's not something that I agree with, then I'm not going to support it.
Wait, so if you don't believe in it, you're not going to support them?
Well, you got to sell it to me. If you can't sell it to me, then I mean you don't believe it either.
You might be on to something right there.
You got a good point. I can see that.
Seriously, I mean, if you can convince me about something, then it's like, okay, I see where you're going. But if you are giving me half information about it, then how am I supposed to support it? Because I don't fully understand what's going on.
So basically, they have to present like a business plan to you.
Pretty much. I need a blueprint. I need a layout. I need everything.
I mean, you do have to plan at what you're doing, and if you don't have that, then that kind of means that you're not really taking it serious. Because if you gonna sell, you need to be able to sell me if you're gonna sell the world on your dream.
Yeah.
But think about it from the point of, oh, I just got this idea. Let me tell you about this idea. Like, I don't have everything prepared because it's just an idea that it came to me. So I'm coming to you, who's supposed to be my significant other, to talk to you about it. But
I look at that different because you come to me letting me know that you didn't have it all together. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's okay. I like that. So now that comes with the whole talk is cheap. Now that you come to me with this idea, what are you going to do to make it happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that can also go back to when we mentioned earlier in the icebreaker discussion about, Ashley, you mentioned about having a dream, but not having like a plan behind it or anything like that. It's kind of like have a dream without a vision. So I can't support you. I want to be able to support someone's dreams, but also you have to show me what the vision is behind it. Like what are you working towards to get to that next step to fulfill that dream?
So would you be the person like, okay, your significant other, they have this dream. Would you be the person who drives a vision, or would you just let them sit there and just not do anything?
Well, it's not my vision, so I won't drive it because if something goes wrong, I don't want to be held accountable because you can easily be the scapegoat.
That's tough.
It's your fault.
That's true.
It's your fault that this happened.
No, it ain't.
I can be in the passenger
seat though. I can help you steer, but I can't do everything for you. Yeah. I'll be on that side telling you,
I can be on the sideline like, go, you can do it.
It's like that saying that when people say that you can't help somebody who don't really want help. You know what I'm saying? And the same goes when you're trying to support your significant other's dream. Yeah. I can do everything I can to help support that, but if you're not going to be the person to drive the dream, I mean, there's nothing really I much can do to help you because you ultimately have the vision. You know what you want your brand to be, not me.
Yeah. Because a lot of people have all these pipe dreams. Look at all these local rappers. Not just saying all local rappers are like that, but being local shouldn't be the dream. You should want something broader.
Yeah. I mean, to go back to what I said in the preparation series, I'm going to keep plugging these videos. You could be the worst rapper in the world, but if you put all the hard work in, somebody going to see that hard work and sign you.
Exactly. So. And that's what I mean by, if I can see the process, then I wholeheartedly support you.
But it's certain things that, like you say, if you're the only person that it can be conveyed or is in your head. So you're the only one that can get that message out or that sound out. And what I've seen is, almost being 30, I haven't got it out by this time, but it could have been out. And so, you're only on this earth for a limited amount of time. At least you can say that you tried and exhausted it, and you never know. You're not even attempting to open doors that may be there because you're afraid of fear. And so I'm like, at least if I tried and I failed, well, I can scratch it off. But until then, the amount of support that I've been receiving thus far is, I appreciate it. That's all I can say. You get overwhelmed when you think about this. Even with you guys' podcast, you've had like 5 followers to how many other followers? You had to start from somewhere. So it's just the beauty in the process, I would say.
Yeah. And just to add on what you just said, if you do fail, I just feel like it's a comfort knowing, okay, I got this person who's been riding for me the whole time. I can go to them and, they'll comfort me through this failing process. And they're going to pick me up and get me back on where I need to go to try again.
A couple of things I didn't get out of being with a significant other in the past is patience and honesty. Because I know sometimes I'm not always the easiest person to deal with. Okay. But when I speak about patience, and it also ties together for me, because there have been a couple situations I've been in the past in my childhood that were traumatic for me. So it kind of has closed me off from dealing with people and being very selective about who I bring into my life and who I choose to be friends or who I choose to be in a relationship with. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it's very hard for me to want to open up to people directly. I mean, I've been knowing Ashley and Shantavia for a while. So y'all see me, I'm an open book pretty much to y'all. And I'm happy, I'm go-lucky, you know what I'm saying? I'm always talking. Sometimes you can't get me to shut up. But before I actually allow myself to even get close to people, I'm a very closed off person. I don't really share much about myself. I pretty much just sit back and watch. So in a couple of my relationships in the past, I just don't think people understand that about me, that it takes time for me to want to open up and be comfortable enough to open up with you about certain things.
So patience. So estimating, how long does it take you?
A time frame?
Estimating.
Be careful.
Oh. I can't really put a time frame behind it. It all really depends on how it all just depends on how comfortable I am with this person. Of course, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I won't take as much time as if I'm trying to befriend somebody. Now, if I'm trying to befriend somebody, that it takes a while for me to open up to you, because I don't know anything about you. I know people who may know something about you or things about you, but I don't personally know anything about you about myself. Mm-hmm. So I will sit back and literally just, watch and pay attention to how you move, because you have to be careful with who you divulge information to, who you say things to, because you don't know what that person's true intentions are. Like, that's that person can take what you say, and then the next thing you know, it's all over the internet, and then everybody know your business.
Can I ask a question from your response? I know you said it's easier for you in a relationship rather than a friendship on opening up. Like, why?
It's easier for me in a relationship because all of my relationship, with except one, mm-hmm. all of my relations that I have been in, I've already been friends with that person. So I'm already comfortable with them.
Okay, so you already had a friendship first before that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was like, have you ever communicated that, hey, I know we're working towards X, Y, and Z, but I'm the type of person, it takes me a little while to get there. Like, have you communicated that? Because if somebody doesn't know that, hey, I have issues with trust or whatever, the issue is, how can they understand the process? Because they may just think, oh, he's just not interested. He's standoffish because he's not interested.
I mean, in Taylor defense, people can tell you, hey, it takes me longer to open up, but they'll still be impatient. They can say I understand, but still be impatient.
I have communicated that. Now, I will say my problem is that I could probably communicate a little bit more effectively. Mm-hmm. But it's me trying. My problem issues with communications and relationship is it all stems back to me. I'm trying to gain trust. When I do open up and communicate, I'm the typical light-skinned, emotional person. I bear all, and I tell everything. I give my all to that person. So it's just I have to be able to gain that trust of really want to communicate with somebody on a deeper level.
True. You both have to give 100%. I know everybody say, oh, you got to be 50-50. I almost cursed. I'm sorry. But you don't want to half-tail it. You don't want to give half. I mean, that's a 50. If you give half the work during the test, if you're in school, you failed.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think that giving half in a relationship, whether it's amongst friends or a lover, that is going to be a success?
That's a good point. I never looked at it like that.
And Taylor, I would give you a unorthodox approach, but I test people. I mean, I need to go beyond the surface level when it comes to people because, like Shay said, you can tell a person something, but the actions are going to be the things that really show you who they are. And so I don't know how you. I mean, at least for myself, it's certain insecurities that I may have, and so I might, present a scenario, but that's kind of like my defensive mechanism. I mean, it's not the right way. Some people may say that it's like playing games or something, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get to the point where I can trust you fully. And some things you can only present it like, if I give you a question, you can prepare for it. But putting you in those situations where I see your true nature is probably the best way. And that's kind of how I do my trust. I'm like, you talking bad about me. Well, I'm glad I see it now. I set you up for that, but at least I know who you are for real without being up a dead horse. So you might want to try that. It's unorthodox, but it works.
So with the testing method,
Mm-hmm.
if the shoe was on the other foot, how would it make you feel?
Well, honestly, you're going to get, what you get with that person regardless. All I want to do is see true nature. So like, at the end of the day, it's just going to show me or get us further along. They don't have to second guess who I am. That gives you 100% transparency. And at the end of the day, I can ask you directly, but the only variables that I really believe in is time and consistency. And that's what's going to showcase to me. So testing, I would love it. I feel like I'm getting tested anyway. You always going to be tested in life. I'm not sure. And it's beautiful if I don't know. So I can't prepare for what insecurities that they may have, and of course, once I guess I pass, or you can communicate about it, because I believe people do that without thinking about it. You look for those red flags, you put those things out there on the table. You're like, yeah, I have some things that I'm not so sure about. Let me see about this, because this is a red flag that is going to hold me back from giving them 100%. So that's kind of how I look at stuff like that. It's all in the positive or progress with that person, even though the methods might not be the best way or traditional, in my opinion.
And I think another way of doing it, just don't go in with such a high expectation. I mean, I hate to say it, hope for the best but expect the worst. I think it's like his defense mechanism is the testing. I think mine is kind of like, oh, this mess ain't gonna work,
You
and just
run.
go in like that. And then if it don't work, I'm not disappointed. But if I'm going in excited, like, oh my God, this is great. I'm on a spiritual high. This is gonna be wonderful. It's just butterflies and rainbows. And then you get disappointed. It's kind of like, well, now I have to deal with this hurt or this pain.
But that's the risk you take getting involved with anybody, though.
And that's true.
Yeah,
That's why,
you have to come up with that conclusion. If you're gonna get involved with somebody, with giving them your feelings, you're giving them something, so you can't control them. So if you do get hurt, that's the risk you took. You're always taking a risk even in friendships. If you get involved with somebody else and open up to them, you're taking a risk.
That's true.
That's true. I can say personally, when I walk into meeting someone new, whether it's just to build a friendship or to build a relationship, or even a business relationship, I try not to have no expectations. Because I don't want to think the worst of somebody, but I also don't want to set my standards up so high that I set myself up for disappointment if they turn out to be who they say they really weren't.
Yeah.
And I kind of had a situation
Story time.
last year where I met somebody and we hit it off really well. And I had really high expectations for this person, because on paper, this person kind of just like checked everything off. Like, I have a list of what I look for in a significant other. And this person literally checked off everything. But Fast forward to last year, July 2019. Had no indication this was gonna happen. Me and this person was talking one day, and they told me they had got engaged. So I had no idea this person was in a whole other relationship with somebody else while dealing with me.
Wow.
Y'all face was priceless.
Excuse me.
So but I found out through one of her mutual friends that she had got engaged that same exact day that we were talking on the phone with. And it was just a normal conversation. It wasn't even like, you know, she called me with the intention to tell me I'm engaged. It was like we were just talking, and like an hour into the conversation, she just busts out, I'm engaged. And I just had to kind of sit back and just like, had to really digest that. And I think I ended up hanging the phone up on her. And
that's how people end up on Snap.
So that goes back to our friendship series and knowing your position in a friendship and relationship. If you haven't watched, tune into that series. It was a great series.
It was really good.
Yeah,
yes, it was.
Taylor, you definitely did not know your position in that situation. And she wrong for that.
Yeah.
FYI, that's the first time I pretty much told that story on a wild scale like that. Because I only told certain people that, because I was very embarrassed by that.
I remember when you talked about it, I was just like, what?
Yeah. And
have you thought about therapy?
Actually, I am. I want to go through some therapy. I
encourage you to do so because it is a good outlet. And for me, just talking personally, it helped me with some things, even in my trust issues, on where some things stem from. And it's also a good outlet of just talking through your emotions. So yeah. I encourage you to do so. It's free if you got insurance. You get 12 sessions per year for free. Mm-hmm. Over that, then you have to pay for it. I don't think it's much. So I encourage you to do so.
Yeah, I that is one thing I have considered is getting some type of therapy, because I am very big on mental health. One thing people don't know, because this is kind of going off subject here, but I do have bipolar. I don't have like a severe form like Kanye West does, but I do have bipolar, and it took me a while to really accept that I do have that. Partially because most of the time people who do have mental disorder, they don't want to believe that we actually have a problem.
Yeah.
And I finally recognized and fully accepted it, because I went through a bad breakup, and without me knowing it, I was going through phases of mania and didn't even realize it, because there would be some mornings where I would wake up, I'd be real energetic, I'll go out, I'll go work out, then just randomly out of nowhere, I just turn into a whole different person. I just get so depressed, and then I sit there and I just really sulk over it. And you know, you have people who love you and surround you and tell you they love you, but no matter how much people told me they love me or wanted to show their support, I just could not get myself out of that.
Yeah.
And I would stay in that for days, and then I would get a little into this period when people are talking to me, I start rambling, I just start talking really fast. I probably don't make any sense. It makes sense, complete sense to me, but it doesn't make sense to other people when they're listening to me. And it's just one of those things where you just go through emotional roller coasters. And I had to finally realize that and accept that.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good place to be in. At least you know, because a lot of people don't get to the point of accepting it. And I think like your next step is to do something to like really live with it, because it's livable. I mean, we have to be conscious of our mental health and to be mentally fit and how to live our life with this. And it's doable. I mean, there's people that, you know, live their life with bipolar, schizophrenia, all these disorders, but you got to take care of yourself first.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, we definitely went down a rabbit hole.
We sure did. Come on.
See, that's the good thing about these conversations. You never know where it takes you.
It's organic.
Yeah. All right, Ashley.
Yeah. What was the question?
What's one thing you wanted from a significant other that you didn't get?
Ooh, child, we didn't even get to y'all.
That was the question.
Oh yeah, we here to get together. Come on.
Okay.
I'm ready for this.
Okay. I forgot the answer, child.
No, you didn't. Come on.
Should have wrote that down, man.
I should have.
I got
So
notes.
my show off. So my last relationship, I did get a lot. And I won't say that I didn't get this, but we didn't. I would say that I want more effective communication, and also my love language is quality time, and I would have liked more quality time.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You finished?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't want to go into it.
Oh, you
It's fresh,
did
so I
that
don't wanna-
dramatic pause. I'm like,
That's it, and that's all.
Yeah.
It's too fresh, so I don't want to go into it. So.
oh, that's all. Well,
but probably to piggyback off of what you said, Ashley, I'm not gonna say the same thing you said. I'm gonna come up with a different one. But I would probably say substance, but with the substance, it's factored in with communication, and quality time as well. So, not necessarily a lot of quality time, just like communication, and with communication builds substance. And so I just feel like in my past relationships, substance was missing. And if you don't have substance in something, it's not going to go anywhere. So yeah.
it's bland.
Right.
Yeah.
What's chicken without seasoning?
Right?
Period. Meat, just meat. Bland old nasty meat.
It's Karen. That's what it is.
It's trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
All right. So in talking about relationships, do you think you guys compromise or do you agree?
Ooh.
I'll say you're gonna have to compromise because sometimes you're in a relationship with a whole person that's opposite of you, and at the same time you don't want to be belittled by always agreeing. Is the simplest thing that I could say to that. You got to find balance. That's what I've heard with the couples that's been married for 60 years. They got to find balance and compromise.
Politically correct answer for me would be, oh yeah, compromise. But sometimes I know they're wrong. I'm like, you're right. You got it. But it comes with a condescending tone. So I guess I won't be actually agreeing. So I don't know. That's kind of hard. Some things I'll compromise on, but then some things I just won't follow. And I guess, like Brandon said, you just have to meet me in the middle. Just, if I compromise on this, will you compromise on that?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. I don't know. That's a very tough question.
It is. Because when you get in any relationship, you're going to ultimately have to compromise some things because you're going to be giving up a piece of yourself, and that person is going to be probably giving up a piece of themselves as well. Now, if I had to answer this question, personally, I'm like Carlos. The politically correct answer is I would be more compromising, but sometimes I don't know when to pick my battles. So if I feel like I know you're wrong in something, I'm not going to compromise on that. If you're wrong, you're wrong.
I think for me, it's situational.
Yeah,
it definitely depends on the situation. I'm not like that with every little thing because, if it's something that's like really small or minor, it'd be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
If it's like a big situation, no, I'm not compromising on that. If you're wrong, you just wrong. Admit it.
And like what you said, when you compromise, you kind of give up a piece of you. And I like me. I may not like you all that much sometimes, but I like me, and I don't want to give up on me.
But in that, when you guys do that, you have to keep in mind that what you're saying may not be correct. that's just how you feel about it. And if you're not willing to compromise, then you can't see their point of view because you're stuck on your point of view. So you have to
One thing about it, and two things for what? Sure, I ain't never been wrong.
That's the problem. Everybody is wrong.
Problem number one.
Especially in a relationship, you're not always gonna be perfect. Like some things may be your fault. You got to be willing to listen to the other person.
That's true.
Well, see, if I can dish it, I can take it. So if I'm wrong, I will expect somebody to tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to listen to it from what it's sounding like.
Look, whatever I dish out, I can take it. I can take whatever you dish, whatever I dish out, I can take it back.
But I would have to say, in my past relationships, I probably went the wrong route, and I would agree to things even if I thought that they were wrong, just to, like, keep the peace. But as I've gotten older and you experience more, I compromise now, because I feel like if you just agree with that person, then that's when you're losing yourself, because you're not standing on what you believe in and all of that, and you're not working things out. You're just letting them get their way with everything. And then at some point you're going to feel like, who am I in this relationship? Like, what's my identity in this relationship? So, yeah.
Ooh, and also, this is just a personal belief. I don't feel like you should lose you in a relationship.
Mm-mm.
I feel like that's selfish of that person to even expect you to lose the other you, because the person that they fell for was 100% you. It wasn't, oh, I'm a fall for you because I want to take this away from you.
I mean,
So,
most of the time,
I guess
that person, they don't even realize that they're taking stuff away from you. They don't realize it. It's just something that you tend to do. I know, like, in my past relationship, it was kind of like, okay, I'm going to spend a lot of time with you, and I'm not spending any time with my friends. That person didn't say, don't spend time with your friends. That was just me doing me, and it was me getting lost in a relationship. It wasn't that person saying, don't spend time with your friends. Now, that's kind of abusive. And
yeah, and you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of relationships really do fail because it, like what Shantavia said, you or whoever said, I can't remember who said, I got a bad memory, short-term memory, but don't give me that look. But when you're falling for that person for who they are, but I feel like when they get deeper into their relationships, I feel like people lose themselves completely in the relationship, and they ended up falling out of love with that person because they turn into a whole different person. They feel like they don't know this person anymore. And I feel like a lot of people get out of relationships, or relationships don't work because I feel like people lose themselves entirely too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because you should always remain some form of your identity in your relationship.
Yeah. All right, Ashley.
So I would have to say that going into my last relationship, or just going into, I use my past relationship for an example, I went in with compromising. But I will say for myself, I did agree a little bit too much sometimes. And in that I kind of lost, I won't say lost, but I kind of deterred from some of my standards in a sense. Mm-hmm. And that's nothing to say anything against the guy, the male. It was me. It was, I made the decisions unconsciously. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that I'm working on for myself, getting back to myself, and to kind of stick to what I went in with relationship, my standards. So.
Yeah, and that's basically the same thing I was saying, actually. You did this without even knowing. It was just, he didn't say, oh, no, this. It was just kind of like, okay, I'll do it. So, yeah. Maybe it's just something that women do that's just...
I think it is. That's what I was about to say. Based off both of you all's answers, I feel like, because especially in church, women are taught to be submissive and, stand by your man. But if your man leading you straight to hell, you should have the wisdom and the gumption to know, I need to get up out of this, and I need to let him know, nah, bro, this ain't it.
I agree. I can say that I can be truthful and say that I was submissive too fast, Because at the end, I'm not meant to be a girlfriend for too long. You know, I'm a wife.
You gotta know your
I
worth.
wasn't built to be a girlfriend.
And on top of that, you're an individual.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley, do you have a hard time saying no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, that sums it up for
That
me.
question was for Ashley.
I know it's for you, but going back to when Dixie days, I can tell it's hard for you to say no sometimes.
Sometimes, but I am getting better.
There is
I
power
don't
in
think it's
no.
hard for Ashley to say no. I think she just doesn't like to tell people no.
I'm getting to the point
now.
of
It feel good.
Because
Yeah.
I'll tell
Right.
people no in a minute. Ask me for $20? Nope.
No.
oh yeah.
I'm broke. Can you
I'm
cover
not
my
gonna
shit?
lie.
No.
The answer is no. You don't need no explanation. No.
I don't even like you anyway.
Period.
What about you, Shay? Is it hard for you to say no?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's crazy.
You know that
I be
type
like, I be wanting to
You
know.
know, I would have never guessed that about you.
It's real hard for me to say no.
Mm-hmm.
In,
I understand.
in that whole
And I think-
situation, I'll probably be like, okay, let me see what I got.
No, it ain't got $20. I'd be like, hold on.
I think. Dang, what else would I say? Do you like hear? This is for both you and Shay and Ashley. Do y'all like hearing no or like receiving a no from somebody else?
Because
No.
I don't give no's. I don't give no's, so
You don't want to hear it back.
yeah.
I
know that's not right.
Like,
I'm working through it, but that's how I'm built.
Gotta say no.
if I ask a question, I want to hear the response, like the response that you, the 100% truth. I want to hear it.
So you don't mind
sometimes
no.
I be like, I don't, I want to get my way sometimes. So yeah.
I don't think that me not wanting to hear no's is just me wanting to have my way. I think it's all like a reciprocation thing. Like, I do my best not to tell people no. So why can't I get the same energy?
But I feel like with a numerous amount of yeses, you can overextend yourself.
Oh, definitely true.
In certain situations.
That's why I said I know it's not right.
And yeah, that's not
okay.
healthy for you, anybody, not just you. It's just not healthy. Because sometimes you need to say no because you need me time. Or you need to do something that you've been wanting to do. Because with yeses, that means you're going to put something else on the back burner. And sometimes it's you. Or you're going to overextend yourself and do everything. You're going to be stressed out, tired, ready to kill folks.
Yeah, but it's something I'm working through. Maybe it is something the way I grew up. I don't know.
And maybe it's just the woman thing. We are nurturers naturally.
Yeah. So I feel like saying no is not like taking care of people. Like I'm gonna try to do all I can do to make sure you good. And that's y'all know that's how my grandma is. All y'all met my grandma before, so it's just naturally in me. So.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you no, but I'm gonna give you a reason why I say no.
We're gonna get off the topic of relationships and go into something a little bit more personal. So, what life lesson did you all learn the hard way?
Oh, wait.
Everybody don't speak at once.
All right then.
At a time.
The one lesson I learned the hard way, and it all goes back to trust issues that I have. You cannot trust everybody you just can't trust everybody with things that have happened to you, because not everybody has the same integrity as I do. Because I feel like as a person, if you come to me and tell me something out of keeping it between me and you don't have to worry about me going and tell everybody. It's going to stay between me and you because you came to me for a reason. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to be a friend to somebody, or a boyfriend or a husband to somebody, where you can come to me about something and it stays between you and that person out of confidence. Mm-hmm. But it's just a situation that I divulged some information to somebody, and they went and told everybody. And it's something that I was not ready to even talk about yet, because it's something that it was something that was very traumatic to me. And I thought me and this person, had a really close friendship. I thought we were like really cool. But they went back and divulged this information, and it just kind of was like, wow. And now everybody's coming at me, want to know what happened, how did this happen, how long ago did this happen? It's like, I don't want to be able to have to go through all that all over again. I got to re-explain the whole situation all over again. Now it's opening up old wounds and things like that. So that's just one thing I'm like, you just can't trust to tell everybody your business. That's why I'm like really selective about who I even talk to.
I would say what I've learned is I can't control everything, and that took a while for me to get over it. I mean, the situations, dealing with my dad passing, questioning God during those times, not having the support around me, or the time that I got I wasn't working for 2 months, and I really needed to depend on people. My doctor, who is, I felt like he did a bad job on my knee. Still, hasn't, finished healing. I don't know why. But those kind of things just let me know how much little control I had in life in some of those circumstances. And it'll make you grow up real fast. I mean, that's kind of where I was at with that. You are not in control of so much of your life, but you can make decisions to help. Kind of where I've gotten.
I think mine kind of piggybacks off Brandon's, but mine is that you can't put a timestamp on when things are gonna happen in life for you, because I mean it's it was so easy. Like, for example, being in high school, saying, "Oh, when I become this age, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have that, my life is gonna be like this," and then reality hits you. It'll slap you real hard in the face and let you know that you're not in as much control as you think. Because when that age time, that frame of life comes, and it's like, dang, when I was 18, I thought by the time I was 21, I was going to have it all together. And you realize you don't. But that doesn't necessarily mean those things won't happen. Because down the line, things have happened. It may not have happened when I thought it would, but it did happen. And that just lets you know that God is in control. Because when you look back on it, it's like, at that age, was I truly ready to even have what I thought I wanted at that time? And so you just realize you kind of just gotta let life playing itself in a way, but you still.
That's good. That's one thing that, just to pick it back off of you, it's one thing that I had to learn the hard way. I want for things to happen in my time. What's wrong with my time?
Yeah.
But
I got things to do.
Right, come on.
I got things to do. You're like, all right, 30's coming. I need this.
All right, 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. Come on now.
For real.
Yeah,
You just like, I need to have X, Y, and Z in place. Boom.
Right.
But sometimes you're not really ready for X, Y, and Z. You got to cover A, B, and C. Yeah.
LMNOP too.
LMNOP.
But you just have to know that, just trust the process. As long as you're doing and working diligently towards that goal, it's going to happen. As long as you're putting your best foot forward, it is going to happen. And it may happen when you want. That's not to say it's not going to happen. But when it doesn't, that doesn't mean beat yourself up or feel sad because those things haven't happened.
Yeah, that would be my same thing goes for me. I had to learn that I'm not in control of my life. I was put on this earth for the utilization of God to do what He's called me to do. It's gonna happen either way. I mean, I can still have my desires and things that I do want, but I need to submit those things to God and be like, okay, I'm going to trust you in these things. And it may not happen in my time. Okay. But like I said, we have to still be diligent and prepare for those things and continue to be knowledgeable, to equip ourselves and grow those seeds. Like I said at the beginning, like grow those seeds that are on the inside of you and keep moving your feet. Even though it hasn't happened at the age of 30, 25 or whatever, keep moving your feet and continue to remain faithful over those things and pray about it. Don't just be like, I said this in one of our episodes, don't just pray about it and just be like, oh, well. No, that's like more of like granting a wish. And God is not a genie in a Bible. Come on.
Bottle. We got you.
A bottle. We have to continue to just pray. So.
But he is the genie in the Bible. Reggie.
Oh, man.
That's what I got.
All right, I guess it's on me. I probably have to say that a lesson that I learned the hard way is not to let fear control your life. And I have definitely let it control my life in a number of ways, which is why I have that slogan now, because I consciously made it a decision to not let fear hold me back from things. So just going back to college, like I changed my major a bunch of times out of fear. And in relationships, I ran away from things because of fear. So just thinking about where I could have been if I didn't let fear get in the way. The consequences of letting fear rule my life has been a lesson that I learned the hard way, because I do have to reflect on where things could have been if I didn't bolt the other way in the other direction. So yeah, I would say that. My fear isn't that I'm a fail. It's like the process I have to go through, back to patience, and I talked about in our video with, in the video I did about worrying, like that worry and me having to be patient about something, that will drive me crazy. And so I'll just run away from it so I don't have to deal with that emotion.
So you want instant satisfaction, gratification.
Yeah.
You want to work for it and boom, it's right there.
Yeah. And so like with the situation with college, it was kind of like, I have to do all of that. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm just do this, Or even if I use the example of leaving the church that I grew up in, like I knew back in 2017 I needed to leave my church, and I didn't. And as a result, I got further away from my faith within those 2 years because I just stopped going to church, period. So I just like to think, okay, what would I have been if I had done what I was supposed to do in 2017? Like it goes back to our preparation series, what Casey said, who came on our Boot Up series. Basically, I'm kind of behind on where I should be in life because of me letting fear get in my way of things. And it's not because of the fear of failing. It's just like the fear of impatience or that waiting season. Gonna go ahead and shameless plug our new series, Waiting. Y'all click that link up there to watch that. So, yeah.
So it's the fear of the process.
Yeah, it's the process more for me.
But with the whole, because I used to feel like I used to have control over my life. There's one thing that made me learn that I don't have everything in control as much as I want to. You lose a job. And that, because I'm telling you, losing a job would definitely test you, because I had a job. I used to work for a very reputable local CPA firm, local in the Mobile, Alabama area. I went to work one day and I left one job, went there. The pay was better. The work was more strenuous, but I left my former job because I was very motivated by the pay. I worked there for 9 months. 9 months from my start date, they just called me in the office, no warning. Before I even sat down in the chair, you're fired. No reason. no reason as to why I was being let go. And now it goes from I'm used to making this amount of money and I have now this amount of bills. I had to go back to working at Winn-Dixie where I'm making this much money, but I still have these amount of bills to pay. And I was very much pressured into finding another job really quick. But what I realized about myself is that I am so used to being in a situation where I actually have control over everything. Now I'm in a situation where I'm not in control. Everything is spiraling out of control for me, but I had to really take my time and really evaluate. And I really started going and building my strength in God, because through everything, God is always there for you. Yeah. He's there for you when you think you don't, when he's not there. And I had to really put my faith in him, because even when I didn't think things were okay, because there were situations where my power was about to get cut off. And like literally the guy would show up, I would come home and see the little sticker on the doors, telling me that, hey, we finna shut your power off or whatnot. And I didn't know, I didn't have no means to pay it or anything like that, but I'll always find a way. God has always made it a way for me to get through those situations. And it really just let me know that some things are just aren't beyond my control. And that's why I really have to have my faith in God, because he really has had my back through that situation. I don't even know why I'm still leaving this apartment, to be honest, because there were times where I just could not afford to pay my rent or anything like that. But I really firmly believe, because I put my trust in God and not into myself, that I was able to get through those situations, because he will comfort you through those situations.
Yes, he will. Humble.
I tell you, what's worse than not having a job, not having a car?
Ooh, nah, I ain't never been in that situation now.
Hey, I've been in that situation. Not that I just didn't have the means to get one. Fresh college graduate, parents can't get it for you. You haven't started working yet. I mean, situation. You can only ask for so many rides, especially in the city where a lot of your friends have either left or they're not in the city. But I've always made it to where I needed to make it to, and then I bought my own car. Blessings.
Yeah.
Trying to see what you're gonna eat tonight. And I gotta pay you gas money to go get the food, and because that friendship barrier, it lasts for so long. Hey, can you take me to work? I'm talking about just in a week's time. Take me to work. Can you give me something to eat? X, Y, and Z. Take a toll on your friendship.
And you know what else I learned from going through situations like that? When you're so used to being in a situation where you're living comfortably, to a situation where now it's uncomfortable and now you have to question every day, how am I going to make it through the day? It really makes you into a stronger person. Like, I am not the same person. I don't have the same mind frame or thinking from that situation. I've completely molded the way I think, and I came out a much better and much stronger person from that situation. And I feel like if you go through situations through hard situations and don't learn anything from it, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. It strips you and it's like a pruning situation. It takes all the unnecessary things that you don't need and actually starts making your focus clearer. Which during that time is like, God, I don't have nothing else but you. That's how bare my faith was. Like, you're the only thing that's gonna work right now, and I need you to make your presence known. So I don't fail. And that's really where I gained my strength from. Like, that's my only focus as of right now.
But anyone else has anything else to add to that?
Nope.
I think that's a great ending.
I was gonna say, I want to thank them too for sharing those stories, because it just takes a strong person to deal with, not having a car and losing a job. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I commend y'all. I thank y'all for sharing that, because it just kind of brings light to situations where you are blessed, but you kind of take those blessings for granted, or just don't even thank God for those things that you may look at, you like almost as if he owes it to you,
It brings you back to reality.
Yeah, to let you know it could easily be taken away.
Yeah.
All right. We'd like to thank you guys so much for being so transparent and open, so hot, so honest, open and transparent. So thank you guys for joining us. We truly enjoyed y'all. I done learned some things. I done got some mental notes in my head, some nuggets. Like I always say, I got a 10-piece nugget to take with me.
From Chit.
So I just want to remind you guys to continue to like, share your comments below, and share this video with your friends and family. You never know who needs to hear this and be encouraged by what you guys shared with us. So, as always, guys, be obedient.
We'll see you guys next time.